Hi everybody, it's Emilie Chamel here, and I'm sharing a layout created for Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. And today we're looking at how we add texture to a layout. And let me start here with how I folded this little bit of pattern paper. So I absolutely love texture and I absolutely love volume. And to be honest, fitting a page into an album is the last of my concern. I'm not really an album person. I'd rather have them on a frame and change it over time. So first one, volume. But let's come here to the stitching. Stitching on my layout is a technique that I love to use to create texture, but also I feel that it gives a more finished look to any layout. And it's a technique that I use a lot simply because it adds tons and tons of drama to a page. And you can do it with your machine like I did here, or you can do it by hand. It's something that I've done before. But you can also do some full stitching where you draw the line by hand or with a stamp, and then you add a little tiny poked hole for it to really give that look and impression of a real stitching. I raised the edges a little bit around, and again that adds texture and volume to this page. It adds a little bit of detail, and it's usually a nicely finished layout comes very much all in the detail. I mounted my photograph onto some pattern paper and I cut it by hand simply because I knew that was going to distress the edges, and therefore a perfectly symmetric line wasn't important. So I distressed it with my scissors. Again, a few bit more of texture and details to my layout. I used for this layout the Sages at the Park collection. It's a brand new collection by Simple Stories. It's not yet in the stores as I recorded this, but I'm fortunate enough to be on their design team, and therefore I had my hands on the brand new collection. So keep an eye out for this collection because it's amazing. You've got the main one, which I have used here, and you also have all the extra layer collection that have all the details of all the different lands of the Disneyland. So you have Fantasyland, you have Tomorrowland, Adventureland, and Frontierland. You've got all of those in there, and it's absolutely gorgeous collection. So in order to mount my photograph onto my layout, where you can see this volume obviously with the folded over edge. So what I did is by layering a lot of double-sided sticky foam pad, and this is what you see me do here. I'm going back and forth and making sure that I have enough double-sided sticky foam pad. I think I went up to 3 or 4 high on here, and again those layout don't go into an album, so I really am not bothered that it's really raised up, and it's something that really pleases my eye. I absolutely love volume on my layout, and it's something that I use all of the time. I'm now rummaging through all the bits and bobs of a collection and pulling out anything that actually catches my eyes and I think it's going to work with it. It was a photo of Sophia and myself with Minnie Mouse. We went to Disneyland Paris last year in 2021, and I haven't yet scrapbooked those photos, and that collection was absolutely perfect for that. So it was time of COVID. We had to distance from the mouse, but for the occasion of the photo, we were allowed to remove our masks, which was absolutely brilliant. So we were quite happy with that. But I still wanted to capture all that photo. I wanted to capture so the Mickey Mouse ear we've got on the right hand side, just repeating the fact that we had Minnie. I chose the polka dots obviously because it reminded me of her dress. So it was all chosen very purposefully on how I came up with this design with the collars. The yellow on the back came back through Sophia's dress. It just had all a bit that their reason to be chosen. I am still playing around with all of the bits and pieces. And then now that I'm done, there's some elements that I'm really happy with it and I'm going to keep it there. So the fireworks element is something that I'm sticking down straight away. I'm happy with it. I'm not the kind of person that will have the layout completely done and then stick everything. I usually tend to do it by layers. So I will have so many elements, and then when I'm happy with them, I will stick them down, and then I will look at the following layers and following layers and following layers. I just work by layers. I can't. I've tried to have my layout in the past fully done and then stick it all down. It doesn't work for me because then I'm losing where things were, and yeah, I just like to do it by layers. And once I'm committed with that, I can then move forward and get to the following step. I am now looking as to adding a few more details. I'm still not too sure where my title's going to be, and so I'm focusing on embellishing around my photograph. It's always at the same time that I'm doing all of that and I'm moving forward with those details. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking about what my next step is going to be with things like my title or any other little tiny detail of embellishment. There's a lot of volume again. That bubbles is raised even more off the page because it's one cube up from the photo. And all of that drama does add some texture. I took one of the sticker from the cardstock sticker sheet and I'm applying it to a little bit of cardstock scrap, and that kind of turned it back into almost like an ephemera. It's a good technique if you want to use a design that's only available in your stickers, but you don't want it to be flat as the stickers. You just stick it to some a scrap of cardstock, and that almost become like an ephemera. I then chose my title with the puffy stickers, and I'm also adding some little chipboard word here and there. And again, it's just mixing all of those textures. So you've got foam, you've got puffy, you've got flat stickers, you've got cardstock, all of those little elements, because it all come in that way now with us with a collection. You've got so many textures coming in there that your layout automatically, if you're not scared of mixing all of these and making them work together, is your layout is going to be full of different texture. And the key to all of it is to do it all in small doses. It's just same as when you cook. You're not going to go and empty a full tub of paprika and a full tub of chilies. Just add a little pinch of everything, and that is just enough to bring out the flavour. Well, this is exactly what you want to do with the layout. You add a little bit of stitching, you add a little bit of volume, you add a little bit of something else, and all of that all together will bring a layout that is look finished, that looks full of details. There's a lot to look at. You've got a lot of texture into it, but at the same time, it's not overwhelming. You still have this layout. It has a lot of white unused space. You will see at the end there is that whole right hand side is hardly touched. It's really all done with the amount of texture we've added, but it's all a little bit of details here and there, and that makes a very, very big difference. So here I'm going through, as I said, I'm mentioning it, I'm going through all the different elements. So we've got some of the brads, so that adds a little bit of a dome, a little bit of a shine. There's some metal into it. Then we've got some flat cardstock stickers. You also have the flat stickers from the sticker book. I've also used some of the puffy stickers that has a little bit of a shine to it. And here I'm trying to find the best placement for all of these little details. You can see I'm sticking some of it, I'm sticking back some of it, I'm moving it, just making sure that it just pleases my eye. Don't be shy to move certain things, and sometimes it will rip and it's not going to work, but I like to call it some happy accident as well, because you end up in a situation where you have to cover an area. It's not because something is ripped up, it's not ruined. There is always a solution to make it work and fix it. as it is. A few more epoxy dots, just working on here, and this area is going to get built up little by little, and we're adding a little bit more detail over time. You'll see right to the end of creating this layout, I'm going to be working on that area and adding as much as I can to make it finish to my eye. Same again, adding a bit more volume, double-sided sticky foam pad under those little tiny hearts. And those little tiny hearts are going to go a little bit around different area. I like to work with the rule of three. So you can see, you've got the 3 firework star, a triangle around my photograph, so it's keeping the eye around my photo. And I'm creating something a little bit similar with where I've placed some of the art. So I'm still creating a visual triangle around the photo, and then I'm bringing the triangle a bit out with the right hand side, and it follows the triangle of the fold of the paper. It just creates a bigger triangle. So you've got top of the photo, bottom of the page, and then right hand side of the page where you've got some elements there. And it's all some design techniques to make a layout look balanced, and it also make your eyes come back to your photograph, and it all make it look like it works together. It just make your page come together quite nicely. And we really, really are onto the finishing details. It's all the little epoxy dots, the little brads. It's adding as if almost like splashes, little tiny dots, just those little tiny finishing details. I'm trying to place them as I could imagine some splatter of paints falling onto my layout. And here is where I'm actually bringing the last little bit. I have just seen those little starry shape, firework shape that were into the foam stickers, and I decided to add it into that flurry at the bottom of my page, distressing a little bit of the edges of the paper for a bit more texture. And there you are. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope also that you check this absolutely stunning collection from Simple Stories, and please don't hesitate to leave a comment or to leave any question, and I will get back to you if possible. Thank you so much for watching, and lots of love. Bye.